Greater success to greater clarity. All right, let's talk about people, systems, results. So now we're going to talk about what's the system. This is part of Donald Miller's flight plan. And he has a book called Business Made Simple, part of the process and certification I've recently gone through. It was a huge investment for me, but the resources that I gained, the information that I gained to be able to help businesses was really good. So I'm going to take y'all through this process. What's crazy is I started writing all this, and then I realized someone had already written a book about it. And I went, okay, well, let's just, instead of building it out, let's take some of Donald Miller's stuff. Great writer, has 4 or 5 great books out. Really encourage you to read his stuff. And just look at these different parts of the different systems within every single organization. Leadership, cockpit, you have to drive the plane, right? Somebody's going to be making those decisions. Your sales and your marketing have to be balanced. You can't have a 747 engine on one side and a Cessna engine on the other side. Marketing, sales have to go together. What's the products? That's the wings. That's what keeps things up, keeps things moving up. Management and operations, that's the overhead. That's all the things that are expensive and require a lot of work. But then there's a cash flow. And if there's nothing in the fuel tank, it doesn't matter what else you have in place. It does not get off the runway. You have some force? What's that?
It went off. But now it's back on.
All right, well, there you go. All right, so let's talk through this. Before we get into breaking down these systems, I want to tell you what systems do and what systems are so that we understand why they're important. People plus systems equals results. I ask this question all the time. What results do you want, and what systems are in place that are hurting you or helping you get there? You can look at the Dallas Cowboys. There's some systems in place that are broken. My wife Leslie's here tonight, and she always jokes, man, I would hate to be the first round #1 overall pick in the NFL draft. Because you're going to go to the Browns. You're going to go to the Detroit Lions. You're going to go to, and you're going, man, there is just some things within their system, within their culture that is so broken that the #1 player in college football is going to go into a broken system and it's going to hurt their career. Right? So do we have systems within our organization, even within our families, within our, whether you're a solopreneur and you're doing it all by yourself, do you have systems in place that really help you move forward? Systems provide the framework for how decisions are to be made. We have to not make every decision a new decision every single day. Okay? How does this play out for you? How do you see this playing out? That systems provide the framework.
Templates are huge.
Okay.
Template emails, introductory emails.
Absolutely.
You have to recreate. Hey, it was a pleasure to meet with you today. Look forward to working with you. You know, just having that framework, and then it's like, okay, change the date, change the name, change some of the specifics of the conversation, but really the bulk of the email is there.
Very good.
Just copy paste, and it takes 5 minutes rather than 30 minutes, or in some instances an hour and a half, where you're like, okay, wait, there was a lot we went over.
Rewrite, delete. Yeah, it's really good. Good.
I would say also probably your bylaws too. I mean, because that's your framework. I mean,
Absolutely.
like for us, I mean, we have them in place, but we don't really use them. I mean, but we're still
You're bound by them though.
bound. But I mean, they don't. I just, like I told you the other time, I mean, I pieced them together by other people's bylaws to go, okay, well, that makes sense to me. So.
And they either help you or they hurt you.
Yeah.
Right? Your bylaws should be in such a place that they provide this framework. They provide protection for you. They provide, hey, I'm not sure what we do. Well, this is what we have to go by.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. And if those systems and those bylaws, those policies and procedures are weak, that's when you get yourself in trouble, even maybe legally, right? I used to work for Dallas Police Department. I was a Dallas police officer for 7 years. The book of general orders for Dallas Police Department was about that thick. And you know what general orders are, right?
Yeah.
No. You know what they are?
Like your SOPs.
Yeah.
Not to do, not to do.
All those are things people did stupid. And so we had to put new rules in place because people did stupid stuff, right? And the more people that did stupid things, we had to put new rules in place to go, if you have this framework that protects people, protects the organization, and drives you towards success, that's the framework that you need, right? That really keeps you from having to make decisions over and over and over again. Number two, systems are the standard for procedures. A little bit of that. How do we work? What are the procedures? This is the standard. We never operate below this. We have a baseline. When working with a few companies right now, and they're trying to figure out, I'm going to give this employee to the end of the year because they are hitting the bare minimum and they're saying, look, I'm checking all the boxes. This is just the minimum standard for how we do our procedures. System define how teams, departments, and branches are interconnected. How have you seen this be a problem with the companies you're with now, companies in the past, that these things are defined well or are not defined?
Expectations,
Okay? Meaning what?
they're clear and present.
Yeah.
Or in the owner's or leader's brain somewhere. And they show up
Somewhere.
sporadically.
Yeah.
Institutional knowledge, like as you get bigger, like you have all the institutional knowledge, but as you bring people on, if you don't have these in place, there's gaps and something that they're like, oh yeah, this is how we do it. Where's that written? What do we have? Like, how would I know that?
That's right.
coming in?
Systems help define these things. Hey, this team does this department does this branch does this, but this is how all of them work together. The airplane model, everything's part of the airplane. It all has to connect. If one breaks off, everything else is hurting. Companies are so bad about working within the silos. Well, I just work on the marketing team, or I just work on the IT team. Well, I just work in HR. I kind of get a little passionate about this. I'm going to try to control myself. But HR, IT, you are support staff. You are there to help connect everyone else and resource everyone else as part of their success. You do provide towards the success. You should not be the hurdle between the team and the success. IT, HR, those kind of departments, you should not make things harder on the team.
I guess, again, minding your conversation is, our treasurer, that's the only thing she wants to do is be the treasurer. So, but they go, well, you know everyone, Lisa. So I feel like I'm the front person. I'm the face. I'm the social. I'm the one that is always out there promoting our nonprofit. And she just wants to be in the background.
Okay.
And that makes it difficult to where I feel like I'm always the one there.
So this is where small small businesses get in trouble because everyone expects someone else to do it. Or one person wants to do it all and not give anything else away. Everyone has to have their role. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 10 people on a team or part of a new organization, everyone has to go, I own my part and my part contributes to the success of everyone and cannot be disconnected from everyone else. So thinking about Lex and growing a new business or working with Smoothie King and having these different roles, everyone has to have their part, and the better they understand how their role is connected to the next role, connected to the next person in order to drive success, when everyone understands that, man, it moves things a lot faster.
Also, like a military guard, you can't put somebody that doesn't like paperwork, that can't do paperwork, you can't put them into the office, because they'll destroy it.
Absolutely. That's why knowing that what role is this person in, what are the key characteristics? If you put someone like that in, they hate it and you're going to hate them in that position. That's right. Doing a DISC assessment, understand what people's strengths are, what's their mindset, how do they communicate, what do they need, making sure. And if you take someone who is analytical, data driven, and you might want to make them an outside salesperson where they have to meet new people every week and every day, Yeah, they're gonna be terrified to do that, right? But you take that person who's a great salesperson, and they can sell ice to an Eskimo, and you say, "Hey, this is your office, and you're gonna be doing data entry every day." And they're going, "Stab me in the eye. I'm done. I don't want to be a part of this. I'll find someone else." Everyone has to be in the right role, and every role has to be connected to everyone else. They cannot be disconnected. System maintain that the whole is always greater than the parts. What do you think about this one?
The mission, which you're going,
Good.
you're going. And the parts are the people that get, that drive that mission where you want to go.
Yeah. That's right. What else?
Using the plane analogy, it's the difference between what the boneyard is in the West Mojave Desert versus the ones above our head. There's
Explain.
lots of parts in the desert, but the whole functioning is what's mobilizing people right now.
Good.
Parts
Yeah.
are replaced.
Parts are replaceable. And if you don't believe that, see how long it takes you quit your job, how long it takes them to replace you.
Very next day.
48 hours, it'll be posted if it takes that long. If we're going to lead companies that have meaning and purpose, and we're going to have companies that people want to work for and love working for and don't want to leave, then we have to create the systems that protect them from those kind of things. We have to create systems that make sure the right people in the right position. And we have to understand that the whole is big. If someone on the plane, leadership says, "Hey, we're flying to Chicago," and someone that's part of the crew decides, or part of that are on the plane said, "No, this plane's going to LA," that person's called a terrorist or a hijacker. And they have to be taken out, right? I know that sounds extreme, but there are people who try to hijack your business, try to hijack your organization all the time because they're not aligned with the mission. They have their own agenda. And anytime someone has their own agenda for your business, for your organization, they're going to create conflict. And conflict is resistance, and resistance slows you down.
With my direct sale business, I know that, like, for many years, I've always thought that our company is very antiquated. And so to me, I mean, that's the part, so I would, maybe I'm not saying this right, but so I would just go out and create my own system that would work for me because I'm very, technology, what's new, driven, and being stuck where, like we were established in 1995, so I just felt like, we weren't going anywhere. But then within the last year, they've hired in some really good business trainers, direct sale trainers, that has brought the company up a little bit further than where we have in the last, 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, here's how this plays out. I think this is the right number. Almost 60% of Fortune 500 companies in 1990 are no longer in business.
Absolutely. There's so many direct sale companies that were established, the same year we were around. They're not in business anymore because
Why does that happen?
because they were not in line with moving the company forward with what's going on today.
Good.
I mean, look at Tupperware. I mean, this Tupperware now they have filed bankruptcy twice, in the last 2 years because they're trying to realign because they got a great product, but their
But
business model.
something's broken. Whether it's cash flow's not coming in, the marketing's not right, the sales isn't right, the leadership, there's something that's broken and the plane's going down.
Just to what the demand is.
Good.
But, yeah, I mean,
This generation, they don't think about Tupperware.
well, they don't think about Tupperware, but also Tupperware is meant to last. I mean, so.
It's not disposable? I guess my kids didn't understand that part.
are you gonna have to buy Tupperware if it's meant to last 30, 40 years?
And people are, what's crazy is people are disposing of it and they're not buying new.
Yeah,
So what are they doing? Remember week one, we talked about that everything in our mission, everything in our goals has to be about solving a problem. We have to see what is the struggle, what is the pain, what is the problem that people are facing, and we have to create a solution to that problem. Part of sales, and we're going to talk about a little bit more next week, is the more you identify the problem, hey, you really struggle with this. Your business really struggles. Man, that's really tough. How much do you think that costs you over the next year? I don't know. A lot. Talk to someone this week. In the last 15 months, they've spent over $80,000 in payroll. Okay? 15 months for a total of 5 employees. And not one of them worked there more than 4 months. And I'm going, hey, I think it would be great for me to come in here and help you to create a hiring system that really, and they said, we don't want to spend that money. The pain isn't worth it yet. Do you really think that I'd take half that for a week of training, right? Yeah, just pay me 40. We'll make it work, right? But going, what it cost in all that, that's not even counting your time. We have to sell the pain that this hurts. What is the solution? Whether it's your business, and they're really not thinking about the pain that's putting on the salesperson. They're not thinking about the pain that it's putting on the customer. So you have to expose that pain so that you can sell them something better. Because the whole has to be better, right? Systems create automated responses to routine problems. Automated responses to routine problems. There are problems that we face every single day in our business. It doesn't matter if you're a manufacturing company, you're in education, you're a nonprofit, it doesn't matter what your company is. There are routine. If you do not have systems to know how you fix them, you will fix them every single day. I was talking to someone recently and said, feels like all we do is put out fires. All we do is put out fires for our company. And I said, well, why is that? And he goes, because there's always problems. I mean, that's all I have to do. And I have a job. My whole job now just feels like it's putting out fires, and I don't even actually get to do what I was hired to do. I said, how often do you think firefighters fight fires? He said, probably not very much. I said, no, usually they're either in the gym or like walking around like this, or they're sitting on the couch eating Cheetos. That's kind of the 2 options for firefighters, right? And so what does that look? You're only fighting fires 10% of the time. You're training so that you don't have to fight fires. You put things in place. If your organization is fighting the same problem over and over and over again, someone needs to be accountable to go, we have to come up with a solution to save us time. That's right. It's fire prevention. That's why you don't fight fires all the time, right? Right. Yeah.
Right.
With
Knowledge.
training, knowledge, yeah. Systems allow people to work safer, faster, and produce more. Man, if you don't have to think about what you're doing, if you don't have to think about the hurdles, if you don't have to think about, dang, they're going to question why I'm doing it this way, and you just get to run because that's the system, you get to run. But at every time your boss questions you, well, why'd you do it this way? Because this is the way we've done it the last 10 times, and we've learned that every time we're getting better at this, we're trying to do it faster, we're trying to do better. It's always hurdles. Systems require significant effort to develop and maintain. This is the hard part for this. Systems require a lot of effort. They require a lot of time. They require a lot of pain. They require a lot of arguments and conflict and stress in order to create them. It takes a lot of effort to maintain them. But what they produce is so much more. And that's kind of the second half of this, is that systems produce 10x results of the time and effort to create them. And the better they are, the faster they go, it allows you to have a 10x result. The way I think about this is NASCAR. You ever seen NASCAR change a tire? Okay. If you have to go change your tire right now, Roger, it's going to take you a few minutes. You may even be good at it. You may feel like, I think I'm as good as anybody not working for NASCAR changing a tire, but you're not NASCAR good, right? So they've created a system. It is fast. Everyone knows their job. Someone's filling up, someone's stopping them, someone's getting the driver water, someone's changing tires. They have created a system, and they practice and they practice and they practice and they practice, and they eliminate every distraction from that, right?
Actually, you bring that up. Last time my daughter, her tire went flat, 10:45 at night, she got off work, goes, Dad, my tire's flat. I'm like, this sucks. Dark in the parking lot. I had my son come, and I had this epiphany. I was like, I'm gonna save up to buy an impact wrench for every single one of our vehicles. And I'm gonna have a socket and a cordless impact wrench, and it's like, that's about $1,000 investment. But I need to start chipping away at this. This is gonna be a brilliant solution for me.
I never have to worry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, just,
Is it expensive?
oh, yeah.
Is it going to require effort? It's going to take sacrifice, and it's going to save you time.
Cause the biggest thing is, yeah, it's like if your wrench slips off and, yeah.
I don't even know how to change the tire. I could probably do it, but
Hey, Stacy.
I know that's what.
Yeah.
I know
Stacy,
Yeah.
hello.
My phone said,
Exactly,
Stacy,
yeah.
I'll fix
Stacy, I gotta.
Yeah.
Stacy, you're fucking right.
That's why it's mastermind. It's like, Roger, stop being stupid, pay the AAA.
Yeah.
That I pay anyways, so yeah.
Right.
You guys should do that.
And just thinking about all the things you have created systems in your life that help you produce more. Like my morning routine, I work with business owners and just thinking about what does your morning routine look like? I've created a morning routine, a morning system that eliminates distractions. It eliminates any chance of getting off track before I sit at my desk. I bet from the minute my feet hit the floor till I'm pulling out of the driveway, I bet was within 90 seconds every single day. Because I've just created a routine. I've created a system. I don't have to think about what I do next. Did you brush your teeth today? Yeah, I don't remember doing that, but I did it right after I did this, and before I put on deodorant, and before I did this, and you just have this system. If businesses will take the time to create systems, it takes care of itself. They create clarity, save time, they save money, and they protect people. Protect people from being dumb. They protect people from attacking your company. They protect some from false accusations against your company, right? They protect your employees from doing something stupid to a customer. The better your systems, the better your training, the better your thought process, it becomes culture because these are the people we hire. We do not hire people that do not fit our culture, our core values. If they do not have these skills, they're not right for us. They do not fit in within our system. It's going to protect both us. It's going to protect them. It's going to protect the client and the community, right? All right. So there's 10 things about how just kind of the framework of what systems are. Any thoughts, any comments from online tonight?
Also said, how do you start building your systems like in a small business, like your marketing emails, event reminders? How do you kind of start that process?
Yeah, it's a great question. How do you get started? Small, 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 a little bit every day. It goes back to the law of time. You do something 24 minutes a day, 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year, take your weekends off, take 2 weeks of vacation. It's 100 hours a year by just doing 24 minutes a day. Same way with all your systems. Same way with your marketing or your sales, your emails, all your sales funnels, all those kind of things are just little chips away, but you have to be intentional about it.
Building that, you also have to build it to fight off any concerns or any issues. So you want to find out, well, I'm in this business, worst things I'm going to take from my business, I got to build a system to protect it from.
That's right. Yeah. So we get in this struggle of when am I working in my business? When am I working on my business? right? And I've got to work on, especially when you're young in your company, working on my business to create those things. And I got to work in my business because I just got to grind. I'm trying to build a brand new business. And so it takes both. When you think about these little things, the key for your sales, your marketing, your HR, all those, take all of them. You have to get started. That's the number one rule of success. There is no success without getting started. And so getting started, and you're going to go, ooh, we need to change that. Ooh, I figured out a way I can get better at that. Oh, I know how I can tweak this system and make it better. We have a new employee. They're going to help us create better systems here, but you got to get started. That's right. Yeah, literally, what we're about to go through is from Donald Miller. I was 80% done writing all this material. And I went, he's got 2 books on it, and he's got all this material. And so why don't I take and adapt some of his, adapt some of mine, create a little bit of a hybrid between it, but not start from zero if you don't have to. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Same way with your nonprofit. Don't have to start from zero. Take good parts from everywhere and make it better.
And I'm always looking at different nonprofits that I know that I've followed for a while, you know, just to see, okay, what are they doing? You know, how can we do something similar, but not the everyday bingo like all nonprofits do?
That's right. Yeah. What makes you different? What makes you stand apart? What makes people want to give to your nonprofit versus someone else? All right. Thoughts about any of this? It's a great question. You got to get started, do small things, just keep working.
You know, and whoever that was, they said, you know, email marketing. I mean, there's so many companies out there now that have all your templates already done for email marketing.
That's right.
You know, ConvertKit, Flowdesk, there's so many of them that you don't even have to, all you gotta do is just change your wording.
Yeah. The key is make sure you change the wording.
Exactly.
Hey, it's July, it's hot. Look forward to talking to you soon. Here's some of our new products. Dude, it's November, right? That wasn't Bill, that was Bob.
I mean, I've done that. I mean, twice within the last 3 months, I have my newsletter set up on as a campaign, and it automatically goes out. Well, twice I had forgotten to change my date, and it's gone out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that. And they go, what? I'm like, then I apologize when I finally sent out my newsletter, but it happened this month, and I'm like, and I hadn't even sent out my newsletter, so I was like, oh.
Okay, so it's little stuff like that. That's great. That's a great example. You can do this newsletter. You have a template. You have to change the date. What are the 4 things that I need to check at the end? That's part of your system.
It is.
I know I got to check these 4 things. What date does have this updated information? And 2, 3, 4 things that before I hit send, before it goes to print, whatever that is, I know I always have to check these 4. And I can't get lazy in them because they protect people. They protect you. They protect the integrity of what you're trying to do.
Exactly, because when that happens, I have these unsubscribe. I'm like, ooh, I don't want that.
That's right.
So, yeah.
I use red font on all the changeable things, so I do bold red on all the things that need to be
I wish
changed.
I could do that in my system, but it won't do it in the software that I use.
Okay.
I wish.
Not highlighted yellow. All my templates that I send out,
But-
what I need to do is highlighted in
But
yellow.
whatever that is, create a red, a highlighted yellow.
Yeah, usually mine would be like in the brackets and then highlighted or in red. That way I would
Sure.
know, or in bold, you know, but that being a campaign, it automatically, I just didn't even change the date on it.
Well, and things happen. And we've got to give ourselves grace. I mean, as we're growing businesses, whether you're a $50 million company or you're trying to hit $10,000, wherever you are in the middle, being able to understand there's still grace. There's still, we have to be kind to our employees, even the ones that we hired right, we did everything right. They're going to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. It's just part of the process. Last week, trying to get the video running, so frustrating. I think I have all the pieces in place. I practice making sure everything works, and it doesn't work. And I don't know why. Today, I spent 2.5 hours making sure this thing worked today. For an hour and a half, I couldn't get any microphone that I plugged in work. Not one microphone. I plugged in 3 different mics. Not one microphone would work. And I don't know why. And then all of a sudden, I took it all apart, slammed the computer down, plugged it all back in, and it worked. It just needed a bigger hammer. I think that was the problem. To protect people, we got to put these things in place. So let's go through these. And I want to give you these different parts of the plane, and then I'm going to give you an evaluation for how you review and evaluate these different parts. So leadership. Leadership is everything from the hiring, but it's also creating culture, it's creating the systems, and it's also how you do meetings. Meetings are incredibly important. No one wants a meeting that could be an email. No one wants a meeting that the same person says the exact same thing for the 37th week in a row, and no one listens. So how do you create that? How do you structure meetings that have purpose? So one of the things that I'm creating is every meeting should have 2, maybe 3 priorities. Not every department has to present at every single meeting. So if you have a full team meeting, not every department has to present. What are 2 or 3 priorities for this meeting, and how does that relate to the mission of the organization? Every single meeting that you should do should start with, hey, our mission is blank, blank, blank. This is who we are as a company. This is our mission for this quarter. This is our goals for this quarter, for this month. We're going to talk about 3 priorities today. Here's the 3 things we're going to talk about. I'm going to ask Department A and Department B to give us a little updates on what's going on in their department and how they are moving forward to help us accomplish this mission. If it's not towards the mission, it's not worth talking about. Then we'll get to the point going, what obstacles do you see coming up in the days ahead that prevent us from reaching those goals? You got to be able to talk about it. And if you just go around the table, yeah, everything's great in my department, everything's good over here. Yeah, we have this presentation this week. Hey, we're doing this sales event. Hey, we're doing this community event. Hey, we're trying to hire. And you just go around the room and everybody just kind of says what they do. Well, how is that aligned? And how is it moving us towards the mission? Leadership has to develop the structure for how meetings need to run from here's the mission, here's the priorities, here's who's moving us towards the mission, and here's the obstacles we're facing. Hey, these obstacles are real. So how do we need to collaborate to make sure we can overcome those obstacles? When you start talking about meetings, people get, oh, it takes too much time. Anybody like meetings? You like going to meetings? You do like meetings. You do like meetings.
I like meetings just because because I get to interact with people.
If they're collaborative.
Do you like
Yes.
meetings?
There's food.
What's that?
Food.
If there's food? That's a good answer. You like meetings? You like meetings because you like information. You like meetings because you like social. You like meetings?
You just listen, listen to what's being done right, what's being done wrong.
And then you're going to take it and you're going to internalize it. You're going to think through it. And you're going to say, that person's stupid. That person's got a good idea. And I'm going to go forward.
But I like to give my input too. I like social, but I love to give my input.
Here's what we have to know. Our input has to move towards success. It has to move towards the mission. And so many times I'm going, I know the right answer. And sometimes you got to be that person who speaks up and go, hey, have we thought about it this way? Sometimes people need to sit in their problems a little longer. So that I'm going, this is an easy solution. I know the answer. I know the answer. I'm going, before I give the answer, hopefully some people start talking. Right?
If you give your answer, if you give them the answers all the time, they're never going to go find a solution on their own.
Because they got to sit in that pain a little bit. And it's sitting in that pain that you actually come up with a better solution.
Or a solution that works for them, because my solution might not work for them.
That's
You gotta treat them like a teenager.
right. Basically. Yeah. Yeah. My best example of that is speaking at a conference and had this guy come up on stage and he's like this big and like he's massive man. And I said, all right, put your hands up like this. And he puts his hands up and I go to push. And I go, whoa, whoa, easy, easy, big guy. Okay. Don't hurt me in here. Okay. And so I go to push on him. And what's the most natural thing to do? Push back. Right. He immediately pushed back. And I said, okay, come stand over here beside me. We stood next to him and I said, hey, we're going to walk over there. And we're going to count how many steps it is together. Get over there. And I pushed his back, went 1, 2, and I pushed him, like intentionally pushed him the whole way. And he walked right with me. There has to be some resistance, but there has to be, let them get to their own answer without me forcing them to that answer. And that's a hard part of leadership, is how do you balance those things? Okay? Leadership has to lead. If you're not leading, you're not leadership.
One thing I heard, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Absolutely. Sometimes you just need to shut up. Yeah, absolutely. Marketing. Anybody feel like they're good at marketing?
I don't know if I'm good at it, but
Have you done a DISC assessment?
no. I know I need to.
You may be the only, you're definitely the only eye in this room. If Joiner's still on, Joiner's an eye. Eyes love marketing. Eyes love sales because they love connecting with people. I hate marketing. I want to be very clear. I love creating marketing strategy. And me and you talk about this, but I hate actually doing marketing. I hate actually doing the sales. The strategy is great. Marketing sales have to work together to create this framework of what are we trying to tell people. In his book called Story Brand, Don Miller talks about that everyone wants to be the hero of their own story. If you go in as their hero, you take their hero position away from them. You can't be their hero, you have to be their guide. And so you have to understand that in every commercial, every TV show, every movie, it all starts off with a problem. There is a villain. That villain could be an internal conflict. There could be an external conflict. It's the bomb that's ticking. It's the girl that he loves. It's all these things. And you have to be able to solve that problem. And they want to be the hero of their story. Helping them to identify what is the real problem. You have to be the expert, not the hero, but you can be their guide and help them get there. And then you have to be able to show, what if nothing changes? What's the potential if this changes? And they have to be able to have the pain of going, is this worth the change? I thought when this business owner told me $80,000, I thought that's an easy sell. You already understand your pain. I can help you fix this problem. It's just not painful enough yet. Your marketing has to go, what's the villain? Who's keeping you from doing this? Who's keeping you from getting there? Here's a solution. I would like to help you get there. And what happens if you don't? What's at stake? That's the question that marketing and sales has to answer. What's at stake? So as you think about that, what's kind of your feedback? What's your thoughts?
Okay, say that again, because I had it and then I lost my thought. If nothing changes.
Okay.
If marketing and sales,
Have to work together to go, what happens if nothing changes? What is it going to cost you if you don't change, if you don't buy my product, if you don't do this? And is the pain worth the change?
You gotta set up consequences.
That's right. What's at stake? That was the question.
Yeah.
What's at stake?
well, for me, what's at stake is around here, because sometimes I think I spend too much time on marketing and not enough time on sales. So then my sales pay the consequences because I'm not balanced enough.
Okay, good. That marketing sales have to be balanced, right? Lex actually does car detailing and has done my truck before. And one of her things that she has not leaned into yet is what I do is prevent your car from having further maintenance problems. Every time you drive to the car wash, you said this and you kind of act like it was no big deal, but you actually like I feel this and this is important, but you didn't want to push in on it, is that when you go through the car wash is harmful chemicals that you're putting on your car that's taking off the clear coat that's going to cause future problems, right? But the person who never drives a car more than 3 years, they don't care. So you have to figure out, how do I solve their problem when you know you have a superior product, but what's the problem they're actually facing? Because most people don't drive a car 10 years. I believe in your product, I believe in what you do, but how do you tell people it's worth it versus driving to the car wash? Part of it? Yeah. But that's a future pain. People don't care about future pain. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I think you're right. People only think about today. And so what pain do you have to show them today that if you don't buy this today, if you don't make this change, if you don't buy healthier food, this is what it's going to do. And you have to, this is what's at stake. And marketing and sales have to work together on that. Any comments, questions there? All right. Products, what do you sell? You ever been? Tell me what that means. Yourself.
You gotta believe in your product, and you should also have to, and people gotta believe in you, and if you're the type of person that come in and say, hey man, I want you to buy this widget right here, but but you don't believe in it.
That's right.
Their body language, they pick up on their facial expressions.
If you, like for me, if people see me eating out every single day and night, and they don't see me, popping on, doing a Facebook Live or a cooking video and using my own products, then they're not gonna buy from me because they're like, oh, well, she doesn't believe in her own products. I mean.
You're sitting there with a McDonald's cup. Y'all need to eat healthy. Yeah.
A lot of the things sometimes that we talk about, because we have a program, it's called TS Perks. Well, it's the people that they were consultants, but now they only order maybe like $200 within a 6 month time span. So they just dropped a perk. They dropped a perk because they're not using the product.
Okay.
And, and they're not showing people how to use the product. So they're just dropping down to nothing. And a lot of our minds, we would rather them not have, for Taste of Discipline, not to have that program, because we'd rather them be a host to us so they can get free product, free host rewards and stuff like that, because it's more beneficial to them.
Good.
And
it shows they're buying their own product.
And for them to be on our team, we don't get paid on them. I've got 2 perks right now. I don't get paid on them because they don't buy. So there goes my leadership. So, I mean, why try to, try to be a leader to them if they're not interested in pursuing the business?
That's wrong people.
Right. Exactly.
Which means that organization cannot move forward, and they haven't moved forward since 1990. And that's where the pain comes in. And at some point, if people are not hired, if people are not trained, if people are not developed, and leadership is not growing as well, everyone comes to the point going, I don't know if this is the right for me anymore. Right? I don't know if I want to be with this company any longer. And when you get to that point, because they're not pushing you forward, you don't believe in their mission, you don't believe in what they're doing as the employee side, it's time to find something new that you can buy into, that you can believe in, that will help you reach your future goals. And that's a tough place to be. I've made 3 major career changes in my life. And my wife's over here going, oh, yeah, and you just made another one, so thanks.
It's not for a person to believe in the product, but you don't have the organization there to help you believe,
Right.
move forward what you believe in. That's when you gotta say, hey, if you're not buying in this, I'm not buying in this. I'm
Go-
gonna-
And then how can I sell it? Yeah, absolutely. It's really good. For products, you have to know your product. You have to believe in your product. You have to be an expert in your product. And you have to know the benefit of your product. And when you are the expert, you know it, you know the problems with it, you can explain it, you're passionate about it, and you can tell them this is the benefit. You're not selling, you're just telling this is why this is awesome. It's very easy to sell a product that you love. And so just thinking about different times I would get to be a part of different sales teams, and I get to go be a part of a special event selling a product that I believed in, I owned, I bought over and over and over again. So I'd go to a big convention and I could sell all weekend. And I would outsell some of their salespeople. They're going, dude, why don't you come do this more? I said, no, I don't want to be in sales. But I could sell this product because I believed in this product for this limited time. And I was the expert at, I knew the product. I didn't have to try to convince someone that I don't know about that one, but this one I know. And the more you do that, the more you know it, you show the confidence. Recently bought a new car, looked at a dozen cars. Hey, is this car still on your lot? Used, trying to buy my 15-year-old a car from a year from now. My wife's driving for right now for a year, and going through this process. Hey, I'll be there at 3. Can you have it up, and I'll have some questions about it and be ready for me. Time after time, showing up at multiple dealerships, saying, all right, here's the car. I talked to John. You're John? Okay, John. Oh, yeah, I talked to you earlier. What car did you want? Hey, does this car have this engine or this? Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about that car. Going, well, why do I know more than you do? You're trying to sell me. You want to make money off me, but you don't even know what you're selling. Be the expert. Management operations. Man, this is the weight of the company, right? This is where things either bog down or move fast. This is where people feel like they're in the hourglass and everything. Middle management feels like all the pressure from the top and they can't help anybody below them and they're just kind of stuck in the middle, right? Management operations have to be the resource to make everyone else move further, move faster, and continue to move toward success. This part of the organization is so important as you grow. It's overlooked at first, and it is crucial as you start to scale. And you've been in companies that are good and bad. Go ahead, sir.
Management is also serving.
Absolutely.
If you don't have the mindset of serving those under you, then you're not gonna make this man.
Right. Very good. Absolutely. Do you want to make your team better? Will you fight for your team? Will you fight for the resources that you need? Everybody talks about that leadership is empowering your team. Well, empowering is making sure they have the knowledge, the skills, and resources to succeed without the fear of failure. Knowledge, skills, and resources. They have all those things in order to succeed, and doing whatever you can as management to help them get there. All right, and then last is cash flow. Why is this so important? Right. Right. It does not matter how great your ideas are. If you have no money to flow, if there's no fuel in the tank, you're not getting off the runway. Right?
But labor your business, so it's not producing.
This is where sales and marketing come in to understand how cash flow has to work. What products do you give away? What products do you discount? What products sell the best? What products have the highest margin? How do I push products that have better margin and I can sell faster? Right? There's a reason why McDonald's, Wendy's, everybody's coming back out with $5 meals. Economy's hurting. They got to figure out, how do I get the most cash flow? How do I keep things turning and moving, right? You've got to know your products and know what brings you the quickest cash flow. Doing that leverages you for the next. Lex trying to grow a new business, buy new products, move into that next step. Every time you have some cash, put some towards taxes, put some towards savings, put some towards the next project. And as you do that, it just continues to develop. Really is amazing how many companies operate in significant debt. Like significant debt. And the stress and the pain and the pressure that puts on ownership. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that bogs you down, creates health issues. It doesn't matter how healthy you eat. If you were under the weight of stress of, can I pay my guys this week? Can I pay the office this week? Can I do all these things? Leadership is responsible to make sure fuel is in the tank.
This to the other day about millionaires and people that had businesses like Elon, you know, their value is tied up in their business. It's not like they have that cash in hand. They'll like,
No,
oh man, he's got $1 billion. Well, yeah, he's got $1 billion, but he might have $100 in his pocket, and that's it. The rest of it's all
that's right.
tied up in business.
Well, and part of that's for taxes because they're smart enough to play the game. And then making sure that the business is funded, which funds my future. Yeah. I heard a thing, the difference in millionaires and billionaires. You know what the difference is? What do you think? Other than zeros.
I was thinking about that, well, maybe not.
Millionaires are good at saying no. Billionaires are great at saying no. To get to the next level, you have to be willing to say no. No to people, no to systems, no to distractions, no to the things that are preventing you from getting towards what your mission is as your organization.
Laziness. Binge
That's right.
watching or worn out.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna give you a resource for tonight. You can go to bit.ly/MLC-report, or you can scan that either way. And this will give you a free assessment for your business that you can take your business through, just answer some questions about all those different components. I'll make sure that this gets emailed out as well. One of the things through Donald Miller Business Made Simple that I'm actually taking all my clients through right now is kind of we end the year and we start thinking about November, end of October, we'll start going through reviewing the year. In November through the rest of the year, we'll start going, what's the goal for next year? What does it look like? Let's put strategic plans in place. Let's put strategic markers for people, systems, growth to help us reach greater results than ever before. But you got to know where you are. Right. So, hey, thank you so much for being a part of Mastermind Roadmap to Success. Continue to get better, continue to grow the people around you. And remember, better is always better.